Okay, can I all? Oh, I had an interesting problem. Actually, it's been an ongoing problem. The bush at the bottom of the steering column, and the plate that goes touches the floor around the steering column, and I always sort of thought it was a rubber bush, but this time it actually fell out whilst I had the front end off, as I neglected to undo it when I was dropping the front end down, and actually pulled the steering column, well, not out completely, but I pulled the inner part out. This is the inner shaft. You can see it slips up into there, and the other piece actually also moves. The piece that slips into it. It's a collapsible steering column. But discovered this time that the whole bush, the bushing itself, rubber bushing, actually has a roller bearing inside it, and that had all collapsed, and you can't even get it off the actual part of the steering column. To replace that and this, you would have to buy a whole new piece of steering column, which I doubt you could get new anyway. And the other issue is that this bush here is just loose inside the other bush. They're just worn to the crap. So, as I said, I did have a spare one, and wasn't a whole lot better, but at least the bearing was still within the rubber bush. And what I did actually is I took the rubber bush off the off the bottom, the one that had this bearing inside it. I cut a piece out of it, about 10 mil or so, and greased that up on the inside and jammed that in there, because that was just loose in there. I said that brown nylon bush, where it fits into this other bush, is just loose, and it just falls out anyway. So it's basically freaking useless. And so then I put it back on. The plate that was on this steering column had a hole cut in it for something, I don't know what. But so I swapped the plates over, and then I couldn't get this rubber bush to go back into the plate. And I've had this bush come out before, and it rattles around, but this time I couldn't even get the bugger in. And I oiled, because the bearing was a bit dry inside it. I put a whole lot of oil run down that inside the bearings. I'm also, before I put it in, I'm going to run a whole lot of grease on here, because the oil will just dry up. But anyway, I did all that. I went to put it in, and straight away this bush just came straight out the bottom of this plate. And that was due to it being greasy. But as I said, I couldn't even get it to go back in without putting a bit of grease on it. And as I said, even without the grease, I had previously had problems with this falling out. And so what I've done is I've got a 1/8 drill, and I've drilled a hole on either side, and I put 2 self-tappers in there. It took me a while to find a couple short enough and the right size for the 1/8 hole, but so that rubber bush can no longer come out, and you don't have to worry about coming out the other end, because it won't go past this plate anyway. So hopefully that will stay in there now. And anyway, I just want to mention this is probably a common problem with these models, and as I said, the proper solution would be to replace this whole piece And you would probably have to replace the outer part of that nylon bush as well in here. But yeah, it'd be a whole lot of expense, and as I said, I'm doubtful as to whether you could even get it, whether you can ever get a new one. Parts for these things, some of them are pretty much non-existent. And yeah, it took me a while to find this rattle, because it was rattling down in here, and I thought it was something that I hadn't bolted up in the front or something I'd done wrong, and I'd put it up in the stands twice since I've had it going again, and checked everything and double checked everything and couldn't find anything wrong with it. And it wasn't until I was doing something, and then I noticed a movement in the steering wheel, like the whole column was flopping up and down. That's when I realised what the problem was. But yeah, also, if you're doing this, take note of the positioning of your steering wheel in relation to this piece. So otherwise you can have your steering wheel upside down. You don't get that located properly, and yeah, this can only really go in one position. It's got a flat where this bolt goes in. You just make sure the flat is in line with this bolt, and and you're good. Alright, just something I wanted to share with you. As I said, it's not the best solution, but it's I believe I have solved the problem for now without actually having to spend any money, or try and get parts that are probably non-existent. So, okay, well, hope that's helpful to somebody. Hit like, please.